All right, let's go ahead and label our sides. So if we're looking at PQ, what is the distance from P to Q? Or what is the length of 16? I'm going to label this 16. Then we look at the other side. We've got PR. What is PR? 20. How do we know it's 20? What did you do to get 20? Subtract 10 from 30. So if you notice that you have 30 goes from P to T, and then RT is 10. So Samaya says that we get 30, subtract the 10, and that's how we get a distance of 20 for PR. Question. All right, so then let's look at the bottom part. QR, what is the distance of QR? 10. All right, now let's look at the large. Let's look at ST. And if we look at, I'm sorry, SP. If we look at SP, what is the distance from S? 26? Okay, I'm glad you said that. Why do you think it's 26? What did you do to get 26? Okay, all right. So she says that if this is 10, well, then this might be 10. Because it doesn't tell us anything about them being congruent, there's no way that we can determine that they're equal to each other. But that's a good guess because that's what a lot of people do. But you can't do that. Remember, in geometry, you can't assume. Everything needs to have a reason. Thank you for that, Rena. Anybody else? What did we do between 20, PR, and RT to get 30? What operation did we use? All right, so Mila says x plus 16. If you notice here, we have 20 plus 10. That gives us 30. On the other side, if we're going from P to S, we also can add these two together. That is why we can say that SP or PS is X plus, does everybody see that? All right, great job, Mila. Now let's look at PT. What is the distance between P and T? 30, good. I heard somebody whisper it. And then let's look at the distance between S and T. What is ST? ST is? All right, not everybody at once now. What is ST? Y. Notice this is ST. From S to T, the value right now is Y. Any questions so far? All right, let's go ahead and use our new triangles, and we're going to write our proportions. Remember, we do side over its corresponding side, and corresponding means that it's in the same position. So let's start with PQ, which is 16. And 16 corresponds to what? 16 corresponds to, thank you, X plus 16. Go ahead and go to the next one. We've got PR. PR is 20, and PR corresponds to 30, which is PT. And then finally, we've got QR, which is 10, corresponds to what? Y, which is ST. Any questions so far? Put your phones away, please. Please pay attention. Let's look at these three ratios, and we're going to solve for X and Y. So to solve for X, we want to look for the ratio that has X. And the ratio that has X is 16 over X plus 16. And then what other ratio can we use? We've got two to choose from. I heard something. 20 over 30. Why do we not want to use the one with the Y? Would we be able to solve if we had two different variables? No. So good call, Samaya. We want to use 20 over 30. So now that we have two ratios that are equal, we can cross multiply to solve that proportion. So when we have an expression, we want to put parentheses around it, multiply these two, and multiply those two. So we've got 20 times x plus 16 equals 16 times 30. Question so far. Okay, so now we're going to distribute 20 times x. We get 20x, 20 times 16. We've got 320 equals 480. 16 times 30 is 480. Question so far. All right, so we're solving for x. What do we have to do next? Subtract 320. Good. And we have 20 equals 160. We divide by 20, and we get x. Okay, so now we're going to solve for x. Solve for y. So of course, we're going to use the ratio that has the y. And then just like we did with the x, we can use the 20 over 30. So we've got 20 over 30 equals 10 over y. Question so far on that ratio. Okay, let's cross multiply. Multiply these two together and these two together. So 20 times y equals 30 times 10. 20y equals 300. Divide by 20 and we get y. Any questions on that?